with respect to how we bring minorities, other minorities within this minority. This year for example, we want to do more initiatives around bringing LGBT persons together, because we've seen over the years, even though you have lesbians, bisexual women coming out to our spaces by default, I guess, because we are women who organize it, we are able to get more women participation. We see that there's still very little participation or involvement of trans persons, of people who dress in drag, cross-dressers. So instead of now sitting and waiting for them to come to us, we decided that we will go out with them, in the sense, in terms of promoting our events, creating our events, talking about our events, highlighting those points, and ensuring that we do our best in reaching out to them, getting them that information. In the past, we have collaborated with other queer groups in Bombay. For instance, Laga. We did our read out loud evenings, which were basically book reading, workshops and stuff like that with them. We try and participate with other...
We collaborated with King Collective from Delhi. We did a kink workshop in Bombay again. I mean, I've recently moved to Delhi, and I think sometimes what you also need is on-ground presence to sort of reach out and, meet people and then sort of see where you can meet together and do something together. But like I mentioned, like the bar nights, right? That's the space where we also talk about that, well, if this is an LBT space, where is the tea? What is it that we are not doing right, And that's where we sort of again have conversations and sort of try and make the space more and more inclusive.
And yeah, the journey has not been that easy, to be very honest, in the sense that this beginning of this year, Gaysi first time hosted the post-Pride party in Mumbai, after the Mumbai march, and we said that the party is going to be, in order to ensure that there is an equal balance between gay men and others, we are going to focus more on LGBT again, and men are allowed as long as accompanied by an LGBT. It did not go well. So we were told that, we were questions on our ethics, on our intentions, in spite of being around for so long and being part of the community quite aggressively, especially in Bombay, we were questioned for it. And, and we were ridiculed, we were called names. I mean, I can't even go. So it actually went that far. And at one point, it was quite depressing. Not depressing because of anything else, but to realize that even today, it is quite an effort and you really need to have a thick skin, especially for queer women, to kind of push predominant gay men kind of, the surroundings that we even had in the queer community. But to give you the end result, we had almost about 600 people attend our evening, with around 400, I would say, LBTs in totality, and about 200 men. It was mad evening, and we got such positive feedbacks after that. So clearly, like I said, you will be faced with such kind of hardships where people will discourage questions and stuff like that, but you need to just keep pushing yourself. And this will happen continuously till we get to a utopian world kind of thing. Very recently, in fact, last Saturday when we had one of our bar nights, and we had about 160 odd people. We had a group of 10 cross-dressers, and they just couldn't believe that they could be in a space that comfortable. And to be very honest, it's not that we did something extravagant over there for them. We just got them a safe space. It was something just that much, but it meant a world to them. So much so that they've been in touch with us ever since, and they're like, "Come, let's do a Halloween theme and this, that." And it was amazing. It was amazing in the sense that, like Priya said, none of us come from from an event management background or creative background or anything. The only thing that common is that we are gay. That's about it. And everything that we have learned, experienced is somewhat on the job. So, sometimes even something as simple as someone sending us a thank you, saying that, we attended the evening, it was really safe, oh, I like this venue, it is better than your last venue, can be just so, I don't know, so meaningful.
Refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, and it just says that, all right, people are believing in what we do, and we hope that their experience trickles down to other people, and in that way we get more and more people involved and grow this space not just for them but for ourselves as well.
For me, it's more of a visual thing. When I see women claim the space they do now, I can't tell you what a turn on it is. Like the last event, like so bold, so fearless, such like occupying spaces without any apology. They were dancing, they were kissing, one another. I'd never seen that in my life. And I remember like standing at the stairs and I'm like, I'd give my life for this. So for me, that is what really holds it, just to see that, because I don't know if it's because I never got that. I mean, I have it now, but it's just that seeing people like that. And like she mentioned, even the cross dressers, right? I had some really intimate dance with them. They were all straight men, but like lots of fun to just be in a space where, and they are like sort of absorbing that energy. I mean, when you look at it, early 2000, you'd see, right, queer narratives and all that, but in these black and white pamphlets, Patla Sa Parcha, City Pride March, which was good. But when we started working on it, we were like, yeah, why black and white? Our lives are far more colorful. Let's be bold. Let's use bold colors. Let's be in the face. And while there were struggles, right? That why are you so in the face? Why do you always have to use it jatak pink, this, that? Today you see people absorbing that energy.
Yeah. We used to get comments like, I can't open the Gaysi website at work because the pink is too loud. And I'm like, I have to bring out my Punjabiness, that's why I need that pink. With the decade, you just made me realize how old I am. It's a lot. See, I started Gaysi in 2008 because there was nothing, right? When I came out to the world, I came out to myself in 2013, and that's like another story. We can have another session for it. But when I came out, the very first place I went was the internet, right? There was a lot of queer women content, but nothing in the Indian context. And for some reason, I could not relate to it. I enjoyed even books by Indian authors because I need to feel every bit of surrounding the factors that they put out. So for me, there was nothing there, and I did a lot of search. Finally, I found one queer group in women group in Bombay, but then again, they were more involved in on-ground activism kind of a thing. Again, that was not what I wanted. I just wanted to hang around gay people. Again, it was not in the sexual context or anything that would have been about this, but it was just to feel grounded. Something as where people may think it's very tricky now when you say, but something as simple as that, I just did not want to feel alone. And therefore, a friend of mine and I started Gaysi, where we started sharing stories and all. Move back to 2009, I think that's when the High Court put down 377. So there was a lot of celebration, things like that. We did the zine afterwards. Even then, I would say with respect to queer women, there was nothing. At least in Bombay, there was nothing. With the exception of this NGO support group doing film screening and stuff like that. In 2012, by chance, we fell upon doing an event. The whole idea was that Gaysi would fund the event. We did not know that meant that you have to do the event also. And back then, to be very honest, events used to be done in very shady corners of Andheri East. I don't know how familiar you are with Bombay, but like really shady places,
Small hole in the wall.
off-peak hours and stuff like that. And me and Anuja, the other person in Gaysi, we were like, I wouldn't go to that place. How can I expect people that we are inviting to come to that place? And that's when we started reaching out to venues, commercial venues, venues where we knew the managers and stuff like that. And to be very honest, from then to now, I wouldn't say that we have been subjected to any sort of homophobia with respect to getting commercial spaces or commercial partners. I mean, we have Stolly, though it's an international brand, but we have Stolly, we've had Absolute Best, Absolute Vodka. These guys partner with us. Even with, like I said, with respect to spaces, what we realized was that people are not homophobic necessarily. People could be not aware or ill-informed. So when you just go to them and you explain them the whole 377 angle, they will never say no to you. See, at the end of the money, all these commercial spaces need money to survive, right? They all are waiting there, they need new crowd, they need new faces. Once we go and do an event at a particular space, you have to understand that we sensitize that space as well, right? So it's not about just sensitizing people to come to your space, but also that particular space. So from your staff to the management, even to the guys parking your car. And then after that, you will have more people going and attending, going having meals, drinks at that particular space, because we know that this space has hosted a core event and are, I would say okay, but are inclusive. So it all depends upon how you present yourself. That does not mean that there haven't been other groups who haven't faced homophobic reactions from commercial spaces or other people that they would have like to collaborate with. But currently, if you see, I feel with the 2013 Supreme Court verdict, even though it obviously was not a very good thing, but I think it was like a nice whack in the butt for us poor people. I think after the 2009 verdict, kind of like took things very easy. With the 2013, a lot more people came out, a lot more people were pissed off, a lot more people wanted to do something. I feel from 2013 to now, we have covered a lot in terms of creating awareness among the society through advocacy, sensitization initiatives, cultural initiatives. So irrespective of the verdict, I think the progress in terms of society is quite good. So we've come a long way. I mean, you can just look at Karan Johar's profile, right? From Kanta to, what was that? The recent one.
His movie.
Yeah. The very recent one with the...
Aadil Mushkil.
No, Kapoor and Sons.
Kapoor.
So, I mean, his journey is a good take on how we have evolved even as a society, right? So it's I think India has covered quite a bit. I mean, obviously we have a very long way. But now today when we look at, for instance, Chennai trials at the end of the month, and if you see their press release, the demands that they're asking, so it's no more just about, hey, repair 377, but it's also about saying, okay, implement the NASA judgment properly, create more
LGBT friendly policies in the health space.
Exactly, medical spaces, in educational institutions. I mean, this week Priya has a lecture in a college in Pune on queer media. So irrespective of the judgment, today you have schools, where sex education is still a bit taboo to talk, but schools are navigating around it in order to, give the best to their students around sex, sexuality, so those kind of things. So I would say in Turkish society are still moving ahead. Long way to go, but it's not bad.
Bus. He looks exhausted. That's why we don't give her the mic. Now you know.
Unfortunately, I have to talk again. So that's the part I look at. So in terms of funding, the very first thing was just 200 printed digital prints sending out to NGO support groups that we had heard of across India. Those magazines traveled extremely fast. Those magazines traveled, and we got fun feedback from people sitting in Tripur, in remote corner of Assam, and we realized that even though not send the zine over there, somehow it managed to travel there. So clearly it's something that we should pursue. Then we went with the second zine. It was not great work. We spent too much on it. I'm still sitting with the copies. We realized that that was not the format to go with. We did better with the third issue where we printed less number of copies.
Hey, we were learning on the job.
Yeah, so the feedback that we got from the first and the second we kind of implemented on the third where we realized that we will publish only 700 copies. Why? Because 700 copies we know we can sell in a span of 6 months. What we did with the third issue also was we wanted to involve the community. That's when we started with the crowdfunding. That's when the whole crowdfunding thing happened in India. Again, from the crowdfunding angle, we learned that India is still not ready for crowdfunding. India still lacks the crowdfunding market. So at the end of the day, if you are, it's a tip for those who are looking at crowdfunding, if you want to crowdfund any of your initiatives, make sure you know enough people who will crowdfund. Because all you use the crowdfunding platform is to help you with the payment gateway. Their marketing does not help you. Their emailers will barely get you anything. So make a list of people who you know will fund you and then go about it. So that's what we learned from the number 3 issue and we implemented that with number 4 issue. Number 5 issue we part funded only because we wanted it to be self-sustainable. We wanted to see if it is self-sustainable. To be very honest, crowdfunding is like taking a patora and doing that kind of a feeling. So we were like, let's just keep it part in order to involve the community, see how the marketing of it helps. It helps you get a little bit of press. So with that angle, we did part funding. Part funding we paid from Gaysi. Thankfully, we have recovered the money that we have invested. So that's how funding part came. With respect to response, again we sell mostly from our website, via our website. There are barely 2 bookstores in India that keep our magazine. It's impossible to sell on a Flipkart or an Amazon because of the margin that they take, unless and until you just want to get rid of your stock. But we've had fantastic response from bookstores, zine collectors outside of India. For instance, with our graphic anthology, we printed about 700 copies. Right now we are left with about 50 odd. I would say about 3 to 350, almost 50% of the stock was shipped outside of India. To bookstores in London, in Chicago, in Canada. And same thing happened with the Zine 5, wherein we shipped out copies to Singapore bookstores, to Hong Kong, with addition of bookstores in London and stuff. Again, it's not that we reached out to these guys. Social media really helped us, especially Instagram. I know a lot of people are going around from because they know first via Instagram. So that's how we circulated.
But primarily, I think the response has been there from all over the country. And
no, we are a private limited company.
thank you.